Well, oh, man. I mean, I guess it's kind of what we thought was going to happen. You try to avoid it. I actually, this morning, Ryan, tried to really hard come up with a list of excuses of what happened last night for the Cavs falling to the Celtics. Now, excuse number one is just the fact it's the Boston Celtics, okay? But Ryan, we just played a tough game on Sunday. We're fighting through some injuries. You're on the road. It's try my best. Try to be positive about the Cavs. I think eventually we might get there this morning. And it's not something that I wake up and I'm just like filled with rage and anger, okay? Listen, you lost by 25. You were in it at some points. You tried really hard in the first half. You had some moments in the second quarter, first quarter, that you were in the game. You fought back from an early deficit. There are some things to take out of that game tangible. And to be honest, when I do look at it, it looks like the Cavs, again, a team that just got done with a grueling 7-game series. Will that flip? Will that change? Do you feel like the Cavs are even going to win a game in this series at this point? I don't like being negative about it. I'm trying not to be. I have a lot of conversations about this team. How much can actually change over the next couple weeks, I don't know. But that was a tough go last night. We're here to talk about it. I've got crazy ideas to send to JB Bickerstaff on maybe what we should do. It is the Donovan Mitchell show. Nobody else really showing up. Derek White couldn't be stopped. It wasn't even Jason Tatum that stuck it to you last night. But nonetheless, we got a lot to discuss with the Cavs this morning. Got some guards to get into. I do have some Browns things this morning, including post-draft buzz. We'll get to our bracket. I told you Raptor was going to take it down. Raptor with an early lead over the Dragster for your favorite Cedar Point ride. Groups 3 and 4 go tonight. We got the grid. We got Spencer Davies joining us in hour 2. Can't wait to get Spencer's thought on that Cavs game last night. We got it all for you, including you, right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. What did Dave say this morning? He goes, I try to take your advice and just watch the game and enjoy it, but there was really not much to enjoy from that Cavs game last night. They fall to the Celtics. And to try to remain positive about the Cavs, number one, kind of what you expected, right? Number two, you did fight your way back into that game at points, and you tried to keep it tangible. And I sent the tweet in the second quarter, for as horrible as that second quarter went, to only be down 10 at some point and that 9 at a point, like, that was a win. And then the wheels just kind of fell off there in the second half. Fourth quarter is pretty much over, and you're down 0-1. I think when you look at the Cavs, the glaring issue is the one that they've been facing. It's Donovan Mitchell and nobody else. I sent the Coach Klein tweet from Waterboy when he's looking at Bobby, and the rest of the team goes, somebody else going to have to make a play out here. Bobby can't do this by himself. And they walk out, and he turns to Bobby and goes, you're going to have to do this all by yourself because nobody on this team is any good. Like, that's what it is with Donovan Mitchell. It's him and nobody else. Your shots were not falling. You were abysmal from beyond the arc again. Max Strus can't do anything. Darius Garland, as we've known, there's a major issue there. And I've got something to say on Garland later that might be a little crazy, but we'll discuss that. Bench, non-existent. Karis LeVert's not doing it again. Can't get anything on Marcus Morris. Cavs are broke. They're broken. And again, it comes back to the question that we talked about yesterday on 2 for Tuesday. Do you feel like they're playing with house money? There are people, I don't think any Cavs fan wakes up this morning in a good mood. You don't feel good about it. How you feel is, I think, directly correlated to how are you approaching this series? How are you approaching where the Cavs are at? When I go into this saying, listen, I expected Boston to get this win in the series. I wanted to see more of what the Cavs have, what they can put up, and just let it play out. Go game by game. That's how I'm going to approach this. I don't feel nearly as bad as maybe some people do. When I try to grab onto the positive, let's start with that this morning, Ryan. I need something positive about the Cavs. He shakes his head and goes, I have nothing.
It's Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell's a positive, right? Donovan Mitchell is a positive, right? He is that good. He's fighting through the injury, fine. I guess the resiliency at times, the fact that they were able to get back into the game early, maybe. Anything else? Anybody else got it? Nothing? I mean,
they were horrible.
It was bad. And that's the thing. I guess if you really want to look at it, the Cavs did not play well.
They're weak. They're mentally weak.
I don't know about mental.
They are.
All right. Then the Twitter question will pose: do you think they're even going to win a game in this series? Got nothing from Sam Merrill. Went to him early. I go, okay, maybe he can splash some threes. You had nothing. And the thing is, Boston didn't even need to shoot the threes last night. I mean, they did. I said they shouldn't have to. They were 18 out of 46. Dude, that's insane. I guess, yeah, Derek White, man, 7 out of 12. That's insane. Yeah, you had a game where Tatum didn't even have his best game. I mean, 18 and 11. That's solid, but it was Jaylen Brown and Derek White who sunk you. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. Do you move Darius Garland to bench? I mean, what else can you do? At this point, there's kind of nothing but tricks left. That's the thing. We're staring down the barrel of the Cavs getting gentlemen swept, if not swept, in this series. Boston, they want that rest. They're playing well. They're at home. I understand everything about the uphill climb that this was going to be. And yesterday went about as bad as I think you could have asked for. You were never really in that game from the jump. Again, you fought your way into it, which I was kind of having this hope and belief of like, all right, we weathered the early storm, but it's the inevitability that there's nobody else on this team to step up.
No.
There's nobody else on this team that is stepping up, and now I got to play this out for another week and a half.
Let's break it down. Darius Garland is scared to go to the basket, and he can't make a 3-point shot. Let's skip Donovan because he's our only saving grace.
What are you gonna do? Yeah,
Max Strus is straight up playing horrible. He can't buy a bucket. He can't hit the side of a barn, let alone the ocean. You're without Jared Allen. That sucks.
So I don't think he's playing this
series.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but he plays good defense, and
there were moments he splashed a three. You're like, all right, maybe this will help here.
But that's not on him, and that's not his job.
You can't lean on him to be your second leading scorer, right?
And then Evan Mobley, again, is a tremendous defensive player, and I understand he was decently efficient last night, but at the same time, he still consistently misses looks right at the rim, and he's not stretching the floor like he thought he might be able to. Go to the bench, and it's even worse. Karis LeVert is either a god or he's the worst player to ever touch the basketball. George Niang barely played. He got garbage time, whatever. Sam Merrill didn't get many open looks, but he still couldn't buy a bucket either. And then you can't expect anything out of Thompson and Morris.
Right.
And you got absolutely bodied on the glass. It was pretty sad. Luke Cornett came in there and looked like prime Andre Drummond against you.
Right.
It was pretty pathetic.
And especially down there where you thought you'd have an advantage with Porzingis being out. Well, I guess that cancels out with Allen being out because you saw the deficiency the Cavs had there, too.
Without Allen, that was a glaring, wow.
Yeah, and these are all learning things for the Cavs. And again, whenever this offseason comes up and you take a good hard look at this team, I had people tweet me. I sent that joke. It was a joke about JB looking at the rest of the squad going, Jonathan's going to have to do this by himself. And I get somebody on me going, oh, man, what do you want JB to do? Do you know that I was a defender of JB Bickerstaff? I mean, the issue is we know what that future is. And I'm not bringing that back up. You all know what's going on. But now you really do see that maybe this roster is not built the proper way.
It's pretty crazy to watch the Cavs try and run offense when Donovan Mitchell's on the bench. It really is pathetic.
That's the other issue.
They have nothing going for
You
them.
have nothing when he's out of there. What was it? There was a stat when he took a rest in the fourth quarter, I think it was. They had 4 points without him on the floor. 4 entering the fourth quarter. So you got a guy that's battling through a knee injury, and you got to play him 40-odd some minutes a game. That's going to be a really tough ask to try to win a game in this series. Oh, man, I hate this. I really do. And the thing is, I'm not shocked that we lost by 25. I guess I should have known. You try to believe in this team. You are up against the Boston Celtics, who have just a wide open path now to the finals, and they know it. They have a wide open path to the championship.
We talked about yesterday. What did we do? We compared Tatum to Donovan Mitchell. We said wash, whatever. Yesterday was a clear example. Derek White is leagues above Darius Garland on offense, and especially he plays defense.
Yeah.
Derek Whitebread cooked us.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday also cooked us because he's an elite perimeter defender, and he was making threes. The difference in talent yesterday was undeniable.
See,
It
here's
was pretty sad too,
it's
considering when you look at
crazy.
the contract.
Well, and that's exactly the look at the guys the Cavs have on sign.
Kobe Altman's got to get fired.
But it's like, and here's the thing. This is going to sound crazy, and I don't mean to go here, but I'm just going to say it's almost like it's not Kobe Altman's fault. These guys have not shown up.
But yeah, it falls on him though.
But still, like, you actually look at the roster, and if I looked at names, it's on the floor is the issue. There is no way that Max Strus should be this abysmally horrible. There is no way. There is no way that Karis LeVert should be this bad.
I told you months ago. I said I'm not a Karis guy.
I know we're different on that. I am a Karis guy.
Because
But like,
as good as he can be at times, he's more so bad to where it's just absolutely detrimental, and you can't have it.
that's it. You have a lot of guys that you go, I can't play these guys anymore. Eventually, you have to put somebody out there. That comes back to my point about moving Garland to the bench. There's no other option. There's no other. Like, what are you going to do? Put Sam Merrill in there? They're grass. They got nothing. They have nothing to grab onto, which is the issue, which is the biggest problem.
The problem in this series is you rely on Donovan to be your point guard when he really isn't supposed to be, and you don't have a point guard because Darius Garland is awful. You don't have a point guard.
And then you start to get weighed on what does Donovan think about this whole situation. You saw him. I think it was the third quarter. There was a point in the game I can't remember. It was all kind of a blur where you saw Donovan. After I think they made a shot, and he turned to his guys and he was yelling, "Let's go!"
Well, dude, after the turnover right before the second half, they turned the ball over. He was smacking the floor. Guarding Derek White, I think it was. He was smacking the floor. He was pissed off, and he was the only one that looked like they wanted to be there.
Can you imagine the mental toll that is carrying on Donovan Mitchell when he looks around and he goes, "I've got no help here. I've got nothing. I dropped the ball off to these other guys." And the thing is, Donovan getting his points yesterday, those were not easy points. That was him taking contact. That was him getting to the paint, mid-range shots, and he's still getting bodied. And no one else has anything. I almost
really
give a wash to Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley, you put up 17 and 11, I think it was. Whatever, fine, 17 and 13.
Yeah, but still, I'm not giving him a damn excuse.
Whatever. But it's everybody else that you look at and go, I have no help. I've got nothing here.
Evan Mobley should be dropping 30 against that lineup without Kristaps.
The thing is how mentally breaking that has to be to Donovan Mitchell. That has got to be so mentally breaking. Then I start getting concerned about his future and what that is going to be.
No, he said yesterday you won't allow yourself to do that. I
try not to, man, and I tell you, I'm in the blender right now.
I would have told you this yesterday,
blender.
Matt.
I'm in the blender. Like,
all it took was one game.
Dude, I didn't want it to go this way.
I mean, dude,
oh my God.
It was in Boston where you got to
known.
win a road game. They've won, 37 games at home this year?
Shoulda known.
It was all right there.
This is going to be a tough one, man. This is going to be so hard to have this play out for another week, if that. The thing is, I'm trying to grab onto something, and I don't know. It's the same thing coming out of that Orlando series. I just need it to flip. I just need it to flip. Now, if you want to go again, this is going to sound loon, but stick with me just for a second. You want to chalk that up to, again, you just got done with a 7-game series. That was not easy to play. Boston was hanging around, waiting for you. First game at home for them. I don't think anybody really predicted the Cavs are going to win that game last night, right? So then you just flush it and you say, well, that's what happened. And you know the hope that why it seems so futile to grab onto this. All you're doing is just hoping that these guys snap out of it. Snap out of it. It's not insane for me to sit here and ask Darius Garland to hit a bunch of threes. It's not like I'm looking at Sam Merrill to save my season. I'm asking Darius Garland to do some things that I know he can do.
Shot 0 free throws yesterday, by the way.
I'm asking Max Strus to do the one thing that he is supposed to do. The one thing that got him an $80 million contract from the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's what I'm asking him to do. It doesn't sound that crazy, but I know it is.
How about that Heat culture? He really brought that with him.
He got paid for it, didn't he? But again, same thing. There were times this seat. Like, that's the other thing. It's not that far away. It's not that long ago that I saw this team doing the things that I expected them to do. And even if now, right, what was one of the questions about this Cavs team? Well, maybe this lineup is not conducive, right? So you did take out Jared Allen, and it's still not working. It's still not working. For the people that really subscribe to the big four can't work. Mobley, Allen, Garland, and Mitchell, those four together cannot work. Okay, well, now you've removed Jared Allen from that situation, unfortunately, but you have. Where's the change?
Dude.
Where's the game plan? How much is this on JB? I see a bunch of guys that are they're just so tight and they're squeezing. And I guess we're not helping because they know the weight of the world, and Cavs fans are like us, just staring at Darius Garland going, what the hell are you doing?
Well, that's
staring at Max.
You get paid 100.
Well, welcome to the NBA.
Million.
Welcome to the NBA. Welcome to the NBA. And then it gets into, again, when we finally get there, of the offseason of, what moves are you going to make? What does this lineup look like? What are you going to do in the coach? Like,
you have to get okay. JB's no. That's
don't even. We all know. Yes, that's over.
You have to get rid of Kobe Altman. You have to.
I mean,
what do you get by keeping him?
I don't know.
What has he done? What has he done that has?
That's kind of my thing. Is like, again, it sounds crazy. I don't think it's the roster.
It is.
I can't even say it. You're right. It is the roster.
Like, you don't have a point guard.
You're supposed to.
Well, you're supposed to, but even then, it's
supposed to. Max Struess supposed to hit threes. Darius Garland's supposed to show the fuck up.
But even then, it was with Darius Garland. He's what, 6'2"?
It's over, man.
And Donovan's what,
seriously,
6'2"?
I am in such a bad spot when it comes
pathetic.
to Darius Garland, and I'm trying to avoid it. I'm trying not to have these conversations in my head. I have crossed that line. And I'd love, here's the thing. It's
welcome to the side. I'm glad you're finally here.
I would love to be proven wrong. And I would love this team to prove me wrong. That's all I have right now is for this team to prove me wrong. That I don't see them playing just like crap.
Well, you better
They're
wait
fading.
till what, Friday when they come home?
They're fading. That's the problem. They're fading. They got nothing left in the tank. They've got nothing left. And again, you did what I asked you to do. And if I'm coming back of what I just said yesterday about this being bonus time and seeing how it plays out, then I can't get angry. I try. You know what? I really can't get angry. What did I expect? What did you want? What did you want?
I mean, just,
right? I mean, what did you want?
It was a test to see how close they are to it.
And you got some more games to maybe see. That's fine.
It showed you're not even remotely close.
The thing that I probably come back to more than anything that is frustrating is the version of this Cavaliers team. Like, if you went to the multiverse of Avengers, right? The multiverse of this Cavs team being good is there, and it's out there. I know you say that, Ryan, but think about it. Think about it. Yeah. That version of this team exists. Now, I've not seen it for a long time, and it's certainly not there now. That's kind of the other, like, I'm trying to think of the best way. Like, if these two teams fully healthy, which again, they're missing Porzingis, we're missing Allen, okay, fine. But fully healthy and fully mentally there, I think we actually might have something for Boston. But we're not there. We don't live in that multiverse. I need Doctor Strange to come up and whoosh one of those wheels open, and I can walk through it, and I don't got to deal with this hell.
You need a Derek White on this Cavs team is what you need.
That'd be nice. What's his contract? Didn't he get paid?
Yeah, only 70. He's making less than Struess.
That'd be nice trade to have right there. But that's like this team you would like to believe, and I guess maybe I'm just jaded as a Cavs fan. I'd like to believe they're better than this. But that's the issue. I don't even know if it's so much the issue of the Cavs. It's the Cavs in their current state. The current state of the Cavaliers is in the crapple. It's not good from a mental, physical standpoint, play call standpoint, execution, shot making. The thing is, I do believe it comes back to just one singular issue, and it's shooting. One singular issue. And I'm sure, and we talked to Spencer an hour too, there's going to be how could there not be a litany of things? There's a list. Trust me, there's a list. And I don't want to check it twice. There's a list. I think it comes back to the shooting. If you were able to have any semblance of shooting on this team, I think we'd be singing a different tune. Why aren't they shooting? I think it's because they're tired. I don't think they have any legs underneath them. The pressure is getting to them, and they can't hit the broadside of barn right now. It's bad. And yes, the roster deficiencies, the bench. I mean, again, you look at teams like even the Celtics, and I know Derek White is a starter, but should be the third or fourth guy on that team. And look how much he torched your third or fourth guy. Like you said, Cornette, who had all of a sudden just get thrusted into this job,
Sickening.
and he's eating our lunch.
Sickening.
Down there smoking us.
Sickening.
He only had 4 points, but I mean, 10 boards, a couple of blocks. I mean,
no, it was unacceptable.
Also, the fact that we got them in no foul trouble. We got them, and we had them in the bonus early. So how many free throws did we shoot? 10 out of 13. We actually shot almost the same amount of free throws as them.
I mean, yesterday, another glaring thing was just how much more athletic they are as a team.
I think because they're rested. They're like, they're in just such a different place, clearly. But I also, like, what's the game plan now? Hey, earphones just go out? Yeah, there it is. Sorry. Thought I was losing my mind. I am losing my mind. What is the game plan? Right? You and I and everybody out there know the future of JB Bickerstaff and where the Cavs are going to be. They're looking for head coach. Okay? It is what it is. But you got nothing left to get through this thing? You got nothing? Grasping at straw. You're asking the JV squad to go be the varsity squad. Like, that's how that game looked like. And they have the one really good player. The inevitable thing for me, which I said I wasn't going to talk about, is what Donovan Mitchell views this. And I think last night, watching his frustrations boil over to the point that they did, that is going to factor into how he makes his decision. Because if you were to go to this offseason and ask Donovan Mitchell, are you going to, and again, here's your max, they're offering him a max contract. Of course, he's going to sit there and say, what on this team makes them feel like they deserve me? And that's like, that sounds elitist and like a jerk. And that's me. I'm not saying that. But seriously, think about it. Where if you put Donovan Mitchell on any of these other teams left in the playoffs, he'd be in a better spot than he is with the Cavs. The Pacers, certainly. And again, all the other. But like, he's one of the better players left in the playoffs on the worst team in the playoffs right now. That's going to weigh on you. When you think about coming back to this team or not, having to shoulder the load that you have to with no real I mean, again, there's going to be a move. There's going to be a move one way or the other with Mitchell, with Gart, whatever, and try to bolster this lineup back and going. I don't know. I'm trying to just not be as angry as I and the thing is, I don't know if I actually am. Like, we lost by 25 to the Celtics. You gave him a fight for a little bit, and you fell through. Okay. All right. Is a day off really going to help? What's tomorrow night going to look like? It's all just coming down, man. And if I'm coming back to they won the first round series, that's all I could ask him to. I can't be. I can't be that angry this morning. I need to vent for a second. I need to get it out. I know fans are angry, but I want to post that question. Do you think they're going to win a game? But that's just so horribly negative and awful. Like, it's just...
No, they're not winning a game. Absolutely not.
I don't know, man. I don't know. And I have no semblance of hope that Jared Allen's going to come back in this series at all. It's a dagger, man. It just sucks. It just sucks so bad. I hate when it comes to an end. I hate when things like this come to an end. And again, do we have false hope? Yeah, maybe. I think the one thing that frustrates me the most is that I think this could be a good basketball team. I swear to God, I truly believe that this could be a good basketball team. They're not shooting, and they're tired and broken. That's why. That's why they're not a good basketball team. Like, if you just took the rosters and tried to compare them to the Pacers or try to compare them to the Knicks, Boston's Boston. Like, that's the reason they're the number one team. That's the reason they're the favorite to go win the title. But, like, if you just took, on paper, the roster and compared it, I think we're in those leagues. Like, you would honestly probably take the Cavs roster over the Pacers roster. There's a world you could take the Cavs roster over the Knicks. It sounds crazy. I know that. The issue is the roster is a shell. It's a shell of itself. of what it should be and what you think it ought to be. So that's even the more frustrating thing. This is not that we are just outgunned and outmanned in this. It's that it's almost like we lost instead of Celtics winning. And that's not true. The Celtics won that game. They smoked us. But the fact is that I'm not even getting the best version of this Cavs team. Makes it even worse. It makes it worse. And you could say we didn't even get the best version of the Cavs team for the last 2 months. It tells you how bad Orlando really was.
Yeah.
Seriously. It tells you really how bad Orlando was. And you willed your way through that. You got what you needed to. And we move on forward. So, anything else we missed from that game? Anything else? We'll talk a lot about it, Spencer, coming up at 10:15. I mean, it's the shooting. It's Garland. It's Strus. It's Mitchell. Like, I had somebody. You can't do this, but it's an idea that somebody texted me yesterday. Do you just sit Donovan Mitchell tomorrow night on the off chance that a couple extra days is going to help? And my response to that was, Donovan's not the problem.
Yeah, and Donovan.
You need to sit Darius Garland to try to get him right. You need to sit Max Strus to try to get, and you can't do that. You got nothing from moving Garland to the bench, huh? Nothing. Too late.
It's too late.
Too late. It's over.
Yeah. I mean,
something's got to change. I don't know what it could be. They tried that smaller lineup that made me about puke yesterday.
Because nobody plays defense except Okoro. Like, Darius Garland, everybody just blew by him. Nobody could guard Jaylen Brown. They were just driving at will. It was pretty pathetic, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was not a good output. Not a good thing from the Cavs, and you got to get ready for tomorrow night. Then you got to get ready for Saturday, and then you're back in again on Monday, right? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Saturday, Monday.
All right, Darius will be gone. LeBron will be home, and we'll be all right.
You think LeBron wants to come to this team right now? Come on now.
He would fix it.
You know what? Here's an idea for Adam Silver. Open a trade deadline in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just for 2 days, any team can make any trade they want.
LeBron would own the Celtics.
Kevin Durant be joining the Celtics. Devin Booker goes to the Knicks.
How about this? Kevin Durant goes back to OKC.
We'll go around the NBA, but damn. I said, okay, we were both on OKC, man. We were both on OKC for that. You want to do that? I want to go around the league real quick? We only got one game to do. We'll get to a couple games tonight, but let's go around the league. I always say league association. Around the association. The W.
All right, well, Matt, we both called it, right?
Yeah. OKC, man.
OKC, they defeat the Dallas Mavericks 117-95 as they go up in the series 1-0. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leads the way with 29 points. Kyrie Irving, 20 points. Luka, not the greatest day. Held to just 19, 1 for 8 from beyond the arc as OKC gets the early advantage.
I was really impressed with Chet Holmgren last night, too. I mean, you watch that OKC team, and you see just how built they are. Jalen Williams, not that one, the other one. I mean, dude, ready to go. And it's the same thing with Dallas. Like, they have their two guys. If it's not going to be Kyrie and Luka, they have nobody else. PJ Washington, non-existent. I mean, that's the thing. It's just you look at the Mavericks, and they have one way to beat you. And if you can stop those two guys like you did, you're fine. And I'm not discrediting OKC for what they were able to do. That was a really impressive game. I really enjoyed watching that game for as little as I fell asleep. I was so depressed after the Cavs game, I just fell asleep. But still, it was fun. And OKC, I mean, with whatever happens in the other series, obviously we'll talk about that coming up a little bit later, but I mean, they got to be believing. They're like the polar opposite of where the Cavs are at. They have young players that are showing up and playing well, and you believe in it. I don't say the Cavs have young players, but like, yeah, that was a little eye-opener there. You think OKC's going to take that series down? I'm feeling more confident in my pick.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
You're up 1-0. You're at home. Sweep that on out tomorrow. Try to get you 2 at home.
I mean, that's the thing. Dallas isn't very deep at all.
That's the thing. That's exactly their number one issue. And actually, I talked to the Mavericks play-by-play guy earlier this week on ESPN, and he was kind of sassy with me, a little snotty with me, because I asked him the question. I go, you know, it's basically just Kyrie and Luka, and he goes, "Did you watch a lot of their series?" And I'm like, "Okay." And he goes, "You know, PJ Washington and Gafford." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, see how that played out." OKC primed for the future. Shai, very impressive. Played out, I guess, kind of how you feel like it was going to, right? A little bit like how you felt like it was going to last night. So OKC up 1-0. We got our games to get to a little bit later as well. Let's just catch our break. When we come back, We got some more Cavs. It's like an autopsy this morning. We'll go through it a little bit more. I do have some Browns news. We'll get into the guards. I do have a positive thing about the guards even after yesterday's game. So we'll discuss that. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play, streaming live. We're on Twitter. We're up on YouTube and Twitch at Matt Fontana Show. Back right after this.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, we need a little therapeutic cleanse there from the Cavs. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. We're streaming YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Matt Fontana Show. Of course, I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Any better? You feel any better about the Cavs? No, still pretty bad.
See, me and you are in different boats, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like,
You're just apathetic, I feel like. You're just
I'm
kind of
very
like,
apathetic.
you're like, yeah.
They're exactly what I thought they were.
And I guess I need to take the apathy kind of path in I need to take the apathetic path of like, there's nothing about what happened yesterday that I was shocked by. I need to accept that. It is what it is, right? Okay. And I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that I'm still just going to remain positive. Like tomorrow night, when we get ready for that game, exactly what I said yesterday, I'm going to get excited for the game. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch it. It's going to give me a couple hours entertainment. Is it probably going to piss me off even worse? Sure. But there's still always hope. The hope is lost right now. I get it. I got nothing left but to just hope they get one and then take it from there. I don't know. I really don't. Because the other thing, it is a little futile just to sit here and bash our heads against the wall about where this team is, who this team is, and what eventually is going to happen. I don't want to get there yet. I don't. I needed a little reset right there to come back and just say this. You lost. You didn't play well. Hopefully they step up tomorrow. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's about all you can do.
That's all you can do. And maybe this is the clip to send out to people today. You lost. You didn't play well, Boston is very good. I understand why you're upset. I am too. See what happens tomorrow night. We'll just see what happens tomorrow night. That's it. I'm still going to sit down on Thursday night, excited to watch a basketball team. Could it go bad? Sure. That score starts 0-0. Does it not on Thursday night? Yeah, you're down 1-0 in the series. Okay, sure, fine. That's all I got. That's all I got. And however long this ride goes until it bucks me off, we'll find out. There's hills and valleys, man. We're in a valley right now, and it sucks. See what happens tomorrow night. That's it. That's all I got. I sit here and rip you about Darius Garland. I could rip Max Strus. I could talk about nobody else showing up. I'm just getting ready for tomorrow night. That's it. That's the only hope I got. And I don't want to lose that. We're still in the playoffs, okay? You could be sitting at home on your couch. I got some of those snarky tweets like, might as well just be sitting at home. Well, eventually you might be. I don't know what to tell you. But for right now, you're in it, so you might as well play it out. You might as well give it a go. Maybe Jared Allen will come back. I doubt it highly. Maybe Max Strus finds his shot. Maybe they're using the wrong basketballs or something.
That's what we need to do. Who's been the most disappointing this year? I feel like the obvious answer is Darius Garland.
It is Darius Garland. I don't think there's any question or debate.
Maybe outside of Darius Garland?
I mean, you get critical on Strus, yeah, for the money that you were given. Niang had there's a different level of expectations with Strus versus Niang, and neither one of them have met them, but I had higher expectations for Max Strus.
Yeah.
You can't yell about Jared Allen. He had a fine season.
Yeah.
He's hurt. Evan Mobley, if you want to jump on he didn't progress the way you thought or his offensive game, I mean, that is what it is, okay. But I don't know.
That's the real question. Is Evan Mobley ever going to be that good?
Here's the thing. You're never going to give up on him.
Well, yeah.
So you just hope that he can get there. Like, the thing is, it's like you want to just grab this team and just shake them and just go, just wake up. Wake up. I know Max Strus is not that bad. I know that Darius Garland is not that bad. So what is going on, man? What is the problem? Why? You see it, and the thing that just twists the knife is I could see them being able to take it to the Celtics. When you have Donovan Mitchell doing what he's doing, I just need somebody. Please. Somebody. Anybody. To give me something. It doesn't mean that you're going to win this series. It doesn't mean that you're going to go win the championship. But don't go down like that. Don't go down just bricking shots and bitching at the refs again. I'm sick of it. Just somebody, I just want to shake them. Wake up. Come on. It's been this way for a month. I get it. And for the people that want to come out of the woodwork and tell me, this is the true team, Matt, you got lied to. You fell for this team that it's really in them, and you're full of crap. I know that this is not the real version of this Cavs team. I know it's not. They're not supposed to be like this. Just wake the up. It's Garland and Strus. That's it. You want to give me a little Karis LeVert? Sure, fine. You want to talk to me about Isaac Okoro? I'll listen to it. It's Garland and Strus. They're not this bad. I know that they're not. I know they're not. What happened? Seriously. And if it is the pressure, if it's these nagging injuries, if it's clear that Darius Garland is mentally broken from sustaining that injury, he's never been the same. I don't know. You want to know the only way you fix that is getting him out of here then.
Yeah.
There is, that's what I'm talking. When I talk about just shaking them to wake it up, you have got it, and maybe it's not now, maybe there's nothing you can do. I have no idea. But you need something to shake it up to wake those two guys up. That's it. Mobley's game was fine. Isaac Okoro did kind of what you expect. It's Strus and Garland. That's it. And if you want to tell me that your ship is sunk if you're putting all your eggs in those guys' basket, yeah, fine, I get it. But you're getting Donovan Mitchell's doing what Donovan Mitchell is supposed to do. Evan Mobley is pretty much doing what Evan Mobley is supposed to do. And I frankly think that at a point, Isaac Okoro is doing what Isaac Okoro is supposed to do. You're missing Jared Allen. It's Strus and Garland. Strus and Garland. And JB, I don't want to, again, we all know where we're going with JB. But I go back so much to what Chris Fedor said about JB not running on the right place to get these guys open. Maybe that's what's broken. Maybe that's it. I have no idea. Like, I almost want to go probably a Bob Knight level and take Strulin. Those guys. Strulin. I want to take Strus and Garland. And I don't know if I want to do it the Garden. Go find a high school in Boston. I'm sure they have them. Go find one and say, we're going to rent your gym. Can we rent your gym for about 6 hours? You lock those two in that gym and say, you don't get to come out until you make 1,000 3-point shots. All I want is the two of you to sit in this high school gym in Boston somewhere and just shoot threes until you can't lift your arms anymore. Probably wouldn't be good for tomorrow night. Probably not what you want to do before a game 2, but I'm just saying, something has got to shake and wake these guys up. I would have liked to have thought it would have happened already, because the other thing, right, maybe there is nothing to do that. There is no proverbial shake to wake them up, because they would have done it. They probably would have done it already. Seriously, take those two guys. I'm Googling Boston high schools.
Bruh.
All right. The best high schools in the Boston area? Ludwig, again, they have a middle school or an elementary school named after Beethoven. Ludwig von Beethoven Elementary School.
Nice.
Our schools. Let's see if I can find you a high school here. All right, high school. How about the Boston Arts Academy? Excel High School. Edward M. Kennedy Academy for Health Careers. I don't know if they have a basketball. Dorchester Academy. I got their phone number right here. I'm going to call the Dorchester Academy.
Can you call them live?
And I'm going to ask them if we could just borrow their gym for about 6 hours today. I'm sure they have PE classes. Like, could you send them outside for the day? We need your gym for about 6 hours. Hi, this is Darius and this is Max. They're going to be in this gym for 6 hours. We're giving 10 basketballs. Just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Cavs should put a coach in the stands just to make sure that they don't leave. You lock them in there, and you say you don't get to come out until you make 1,000 threes. You're going to shoot and shoot and shoot some more until you find it, because that's the only hope the Cavs have for this. That's it. That's it. I wonder if JB will take my advice. We'll see. Ooh, the Boston School Committee in-person meeting is tonight. You going to be there? 6 o'clock. Better zoom into that.
I've never been to Boston.
Boston's cool-ass town, man. We went. The one thing about Boston you will see is the history. Like, you would think, like, I guess I put it this way. You go to New York. I've never been to Philly, but, like, these are obviously some of the earliest major cities, in our country. And you go to Boston, and a lot of it is still kind of there. The thing is, they get you on the touristy thing. They get you on the, you know what the duck boat is?
No.
Duck boat is a giant, it drives on the street and goes in the water. So what they're meant to do is you get on these things, they'll drive you around town, and then you go out to the bay. And then you can go out. We try to go whale watching, actually, we're in Boston, too. The cool thing about Boston is there's a lot of cemeteries. So, like, you can go to, Ben Franklin's parents are buried here. Like, Sam Adams is buried here. Sam Adams Brewery is awesome, by the way. So Boston's got a lot of history to it. I would go back. If you asked me would I rather go to New York or Boston, I'd rather go to Boston. Boston's a cool town.
I probably would rather.
Boston's a really cool town. It's got a lot going on. Then south, you go across the river, all that kind of, Charlestown, all that. If you've watched The Town with Ben Affleck.
Mm-mm.
What? You've never seen The Town?
Never even heard of it.
Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner?
No. Never heard of
John Hamm plays the cop?
No, never heard of it.
Dude. Do you like heist movies? You like robbery movies?
Yeah, I mean.
Dude, you're going to love The Town.
The Town?
You will love The Town. It was nominated for Academy Awards.
I can't believe I've never heard of it.
Dude, I again, there's not many, I get on you about some movies, rightly so. That is one that if you watch it, I guarantee you're going to like it. I guarantee you're going to like the town.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know
watch it
many.
today.
Dude, seriously, if you're bored for a couple hours, sit down and watch it. It's a heist movie. There's a plot twist later on.
Maybe I'll watch it today. I'm interested.
Oh, my God. Who's married to Ryan Reynolds? Blake Lively. Blake Lively plays the sister. Rebecca Hall's the love interest. Oh, my God. Fergie. Wait till you watch that movie.
Fergie's in it?
His name's Fergie. He's
I
the
thought you meant
Florida.
Fergie's in it. Like
No,
from Black Eyed Peas.
not that Fergie. Not Josh Duhamel's from right. No, not the Black Eyed Peas Fergie. No, Fergie plays the town florist, who's basically the boss, like the mob boss.
Okay.
Ben Affleck's dad not his real dad, but the guy who plays his dad. Chris Cooper, great actor. Pete Postlewaite, who unfortunately passed away soon after the town was made. But dude,
I'm about to watch that today.
Watch it and let me know your thoughts. The town is up there for me.
All right.
That's a good one. It's a Boston flick. And it was actually in the news this week because somebody crashed a car into Fenway on accident.
That's what your GIF was about.
That's what that GIF was about. You saw my tweet, right? That's the movie. That's the town. And you'll see it in the climax of the movie. It all is about, I don't think I'm spoiling anything. The big heist at the end is they try to rob Fenway. They try to rob
that's
Fenway.
sick. That's cool.
They try to rob Fenway. And I'm sure you might have seen promos about it with them wearing nuns masks. Have you ever seen those?
I think so.
That is another heist in it, but the big one is they go to try to rob Fenway.
But
It's a good flick. Good flick. Let me know. I'm very interested in your thoughts
All
on
right,
it.
well, should we get a win today since the Cavs can't? Or
Yeah.
do you
All
wanna
right, let's do the
it?
great because we do have Spencer coming up. I've got some Browns and guards things I want to get to, but let's just get to in the morning update. Let's get to the Immaculate Grid because we got Spencer coming up. We need a win. I need to start.
We do need a
Let's
win.
turn it.
Let's win
And-
for the Cavs.
Hey, by the way, we welcome your help.
Yeah.
Get on the YouTube comments. Get on the Twitter at Matt Fontana 83 and Ryan Tyler 33. We go up and down. You got to put a player in each spot. They had to have played for both of those teams, 1,000-yard receiving season. And then, because there's so many people that, for this one, we'd be screaming Devontae Adams. But sometimes we're so in it that we can't think of him. So if you got one, instantly come back and be like, you idiot. There's guys to be missed here. So Ryan's filling out. We got 9 minutes.
Did Jerry
to do it.
Rice ever play for the Jaguars, the Seahawks?
No. Raiders.
Did Andre Johnson?
Dude.
What?
Jerry Rice did play for Seattle.
Well, okay, well, that's on you.
I'm pretty sure. Hang on.
Well, that's on you.
Yes, he did. He ended with Seattle.
Well, that's on you, so.
No. Well, can we think of another one?
We'll be fine, but let's get this
Yeah,
out.
I got another one.
Andre Johnson?
Andre Johnson.
He didn't play for the Texans or the Seahawks or.
No, he finished it out. Why do I want to say he finished it out with Tennessee?
I wanted to say that. Or no, maybe because not when he fought Cortland Finnegan.
That was a great video. No, he went to the Colts and Titans. You're right, Colts and Titans. Yeah, there it is with Andre Johnson. That fight when he just grabs it.
Yeah.
He just starts
bitched Cortland
Oh, my
Finnegan.
God. Well, did you see in the clip, there's an extended version of that, of the play before they got into the fight, and they were shoving and pushing each other. That's a good one. That's a good fight video there from the NFL. All right, I do have another Seattle 49ers one. Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman works there. All right, big picture here. San Francisco.
Dude, I say this a million times. Carlos Hyde.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Because there was a quarterback, too.
For what?
For both those guys. And I can picture his. But anyway, I'm wasting time. It wasn't Blake Bortles. Somebody else. Why do I think Blake Bortles works all of a sudden for the Jags and the Packers? That sounds crazy to me. Again, he had to have played in a game, too. So I don't think that works there. Oh, man. Jags, Texans, Carlos Hyde works there, too. And I think we could have done another San Francisco one.
All right.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. We'll make it work now. All right, Texans, Case Keenum doesn't work for either one of those ones. Yeah, I would have loved to have bumped Carlos Hyde down there.
Did Matt Hasselbeck play for the Texans?
Don't know. I actually feel better about saying he played for Green Bay.
Well, I know he played for...
There's Tim and Matt. Obviously, yeah, you're right. Matt. Oh, yeah, 100%, because he got drafted by the Packers. That's right. Go Matt Hasselbeck. Seattle, Green Bay. Yeah, drafted in Green Bay. That's right. 100%. 100%. Matt Hasselbeck. Good pull. All right, let's try to finish out here. Seahawks, Texans. Seahawks, Texans. Not Matt Flynn. This is a deep cut. What about Will Dissly? Do you remember him? Tight end?
Yeah, I don't remember him on the Texans.
I don't know if I remember on the Texans either. Obviously, I know the Chargers, the Seahawks. Yeah, he just went Seattle to LA. The Chargers is where he's at now. All right. Jimmy Graham doesn't work there. Oh, man. Jimmy Graham would have worked for Seattle and Green Bay, but that's all right. That's all right. All right, let's focus quarterbacks. Texans quarterback Schaub, Case Keenum, Tyrod Taylor. Does Tyrod Taylor work for Jacksonville? In Houston? I don't think so. Fitzpatrick, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I know, played for the Texans. So did Josh McCown. Oh, Josh McCown. Houston, Jacksonville. Right? Right? Let him rip. I feel semi-confident on that one.
It happens.
The hell did McCown? Houston, we knew. How did he never play in Jacksonville? I swear. Oh, you know what? I think I'm confusing with the Jets jerseys. Comments, anybody? Anybody?
Charles said Richard Sherman.
We got that one.
Oh, no.
Got that one.
Seahawks, Texans. Jadeveon? No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well done. Yeah, good call. Good call. All right, we only got one guest left. Is there one you're feeling better about than the other? I guess just ripping through Jacksonville players. Calvin Ridley, no.
Paul Kruger?
Paul Kruger playing Jacksonville?
Thought so.
Anyway, Baltimore.
Paul Peluzny.
Oh, Paul Peluzny. That's a good pull. He works for Buffalo. I remember that. Wait a minute. Did he not play with Houston? That's a good pull. That's a deep cut there with Paul Peluzny. I can't even spell his name. Paul P-A Peluz. I can't even find him. Yannick Ngakoue? Nothing. Calais Campbell? No, I don't think so. If anything, maybe Houston, but I don't think so. Bradley Roby? I know played for Houston, but I don't think he ever went to Jacksonville.
Maurice Jones-Drew? Did he ever play for him?
I don't think so. He went to the Raiders, but I don't think he ever played for those other two. Mark Brunell? I don't know why I think Mark Brunell works for the Packers. I would rip that one.
Christian Kirksey?
Did he ever play in Jacksonville? Mark Brunell, Packers. Wait, no. Wait, don't rip it yet. What do we need? Jacksonville. Yeah, that one. Yeah, Mark Brunell. Yep. Sorry, I got confused. Mark Brunell. All right, we worked our way through
All right, what do we want to look at?
The one we missed.
Texans, Jaguars?
Yeah, only 51. That's not a lot.
Deshaun Gibson? I mean...
That's a good pull, former Brown.
Shorts.
Oh, I should have gotten that one.
Wow, Justin Forsett,
Damn it.
Carlos Hyde, Garrett Ogunbowale.
All right, so here's the thing. By the way, when I was at BW, we had a face mount union when they had Pierre Garçon and Cecil Shorts on the same field. Didn't go well for my Yellow Jackets. Go back up. I want to see
Oh, they show you the most popular one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of cool like stats you can dive into with that. Who's the most popular for Seattle? That's the quarterback. Who is that?
Blaine Gabbert.
That's it. Yes, that's exactly who I was thinking of. Yes, that's exactly who it was. I could picture his face. That was it. So again, if we would have bumped high down, we would have finished up. Who's the most popular Texan Jag? Go back down. Or, give up. Like, go back to the thing. Go down. Who's
AJ Bowie. Bowie.
Oh, AJ Bowie, the corner, yeah.
And then Jags Green Bay was Mercedes Lewis.
Oh, that's a good pull, too. That's a good pull. I think that's like a borderline win for us. I think we were pretty close on that.
Oh, yeah, Angelo got Mark Brunell, too.
Did he? Yeah, good call. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you. Yes, Brunell. Yeah. Lefty. That's right. We got to start remembering Mark Brunell. He works for 5 different teams. Jacksonville, Green Bay, Washington, the Saints, and the Jets. So remember that for Mark Brunell. All right, coming up, we're going to dive into the morning update. I do have a take on the Guardians I want to get to. Spencer Davies, 10-15. We'll try to dissect that Cavs game from last night and the post-draft buzz for all 32 NFL teams. What's going on with the Browns, which I think is a little interesting of what they brought up that going around ESPN. So we'll get to that. We also get to time up. We got a bracket for the best Cedar Point ride. We got it all for you, folks, including a little Tipico action tonight. You got it? All right, let's go. Come on. Same thing we've been running. Manzardo, his first hit's going to be a home run. Mark my words. I don't know when it's going to be. I hope it'll be tonight. It's the same thing we've been running, folks. Here's what it is. Manzardo home run, Guards win. And it's not only that you will cash, what is that?
Plus 800.
800. It's that you will then be entered to win 2 tickets to go watch the baseball team play. So you're winning almost twice. If we win the boost, great. But then also anybody, literally anybody that has bet for as long as this takes, we are eventually going to pick a winner for a pair of tickets to go over and watch the Guardians play. So you're winning twice on that, and you can double it up there with our friends at Tipico. For new customers, use the code Fontana150, Fontana 150. You deposit $150 into Tipico. You will get 2 $75 protected bets, and then you are on your way to the cash back rewards. I just got a cashback reward yesterday for straight bets and parlays. They're different ones, but you just see your meter get filled up, and it's money right back in your account when you get to it. Terms and conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. And for new customers only, the code Fontana150 works. When you deposit $150, you get 2 $75 protected bets. But again, the cashback is where it's at. The boosts are where it's at. And we're riding this again tonight. I'm right in, baby. Here we go. Let's do it. We'll get to our games for tonight. You know I've been cold. I've been a little cold. Missed on the Guardians game yesterday because I took the under.
I bet the under and I thought of you. I was like, might as well bet the under.
They had it in 2 innings.
Under.
2 innings. Are we starting to get a little worried there? All right. Back into it. Boosts. $10. $10 pays me 90.
There we go.
10 to 90. I'm back in on the cash back as well. And we're off to the races with our friends at Tipico. Get betting. We'll get to the games tonight on the NBA side of things. Pacers-Knicks. Oh, actually, we only got one game tonight. Pacers-Knicks, 4.5. I got a lock. Buddy. I got a lock. Don't you shake your head at me. I got a lock.
You got an anti-lock.
I've been cold on Tipico, but we'll bring it on back. Trust me on that. All right, catch our break. Speaking of coming back, we'll get to the morning update. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here in Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255, playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. All right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
I got the tweets coming in from the grid. Appreciate everybody's support on that. We would have gotten it. Gabbert, bump it on down, but appreciate everybody on the grid. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Catch us YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and something else very, 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 very soon. I saw the layout. I like it. Looks good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Coming together.
Coming together, Pepper. That's all we got. All right, Spencer Davies, 10 minutes away from him joining us. We'll just dissect everything with this game. But, Ryan, let's go around the sports world. We got the morning update, please.
Alrighty, well, the Guardians last night, they lose 11-7 as the Tigers. Even up that series, one apiece. Logan Allen just 2 1/3 inning pitch, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts for the young kid. However, Jose Ramirez gets 3 hits. He seems like he's back in action at the plate. But nonetheless, the Tigers get the best of us in this one.
Here's my positive take. Keep the bats hot. Keep the bats hot. That's all I asked. Detroit was down bad. They were eventually going to come on out. Okay, whatever. It was a bad game. Keep the bats hot, though. Of course, it took Javi Baez, who we were just talking a bunch of smack about, to have that RBI single. I mean, you look at that game, and I just appreciated them coming back. Naylor hitting that home run. You're getting runs. That's all I ask. Keep the bats hot. Keep Manzardo in lineup. Everybody calm the f down, okay? He's pressing at the plate. I know he is. That's okay. He's seeing Major League pitching for the first time. And what I don't think people truly understand, and I was never in that situation. I got to semi-pro baseball. That's the best I got, buddy. That gap between AAA pitching and starting Major League pitching, you cannot understand it. You cannot understand. This guy's raking down in AAA. That's fine. That's good. He's got to come up here and understand. What did Jackson Holliday do? The number one guy came up, 2 for 40 or something like that? I don't think anybody in the Orioles organization is jumping off ship on Jackson Holliday. Come up, understand that even a guy like Kente Maeda, who's not a top-level pitcher.
That dude is emotional on the mound.
Well, it's just he throws you off when he's leaning back. He doesn't throw hard. Does not throw hard, but he changes speeds. He's got a lot of different pitches. It's just getting Manzardo's feet wet, and I don't want him to take this too serious. I really don't want him to, and he shouldn't. And I don't think Stephen Vogt's putting pressure on him. I think Chris Valaika, the hitting coach, is putting a lot of pressure on him. Kyle Manzardo has a bat that will play at the major league level. I know that. He's got to get this experience, though. And once he gets a hit, the pressure will be off, and he'll feel great about it. Just keep him in the lineup, too. What I'd like to see is get him out to the field today.
Yeah.
He's been DHing. Throw him at first base today. Let Naylor DH. He's been at first for a little while now. Let Manzardo. Don't put him at some position he's not comfortable with. I know he can do the outfield. Put him at first. Get him in the field today. Get him back in the flow of things. That's what I think you need to do. But I'm not concerned. I am not. He's putting the bat on the ball. I know he's striking out. He's grinding. He's grinding up there. He'll get one. It'll all be pressure off. But other than that, too, for the lineup to put up the runs, sans Steven Kwan, Esteban Florial, man, I'm not saying he needs to be an everyday guy now, but Brennan is hitting. Just keep the bats hot. That's all I ask, and that's the one positive I have out of it. Go get it tonight. Get after it. Rubber match, or are we done? We got one tomorrow with them?
This will be the last game of the 3-game series. Tanner Bybee on the mound tonight.
Get it done.
Series.
Get it done. Get it done. I'm going to take you know what? I'm doing that right now in Tipico. Guards minus a run and a half. Do it. Do it. I'm in.
Okay. Well, Matt, we spent most of the morning talking about it, so feel free to skip over it if you want, but how could we not talk about it? The Cavaliers, they get blown out in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, 120-95. Donovan Mitchell, another 30-plus point game, but other than that, no offense from our Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, and that's one of the questions I'll have for Spencer coming up in about 10 minutes is there a way just to fix this shooting? I'm boiling it down, and you can call me crazy. I'm literally just boiling this down into the Cavs cannot shoot. It's even Mitchell doesn't seem like he's shooting all that well. He's getting to the mid-range, and he's getting to the rack, but, is it tired legs? Is it the offense? What? Because, yeah, defense shows up, and a lot of people say defense, shows up in the playoffs, and it's more physical, and I get all of it. What you need to do is score. What you have to do, and what you see across the league, is in these playoff games, when you can go down and score pivotal buckets. And I'm talking about buckets that put you up 10 or buckets that avoid them from getting up 10. You know what I mean? It's not always about it's a tie game and you need it here. You need a bucket so they don't go up 12. You need to keep it at 10. Or you get a bucket here to bury them even further. Defense will play. Defense will be there. Scoring is down across the playoffs. I get it. What the Cavs' issue remains to be is scoring and output without Donovan Mitchell. Without him on the floor and anybody else aside of him. That's their biggest issue. Again, it's crazy. I know Darius Garland has put up 40 points in a game before.
50.
Can we do it again? Can we just get that again? And I joke about taking Strus and Garland and locking them in a Boston high school gym and telling them to shoot 1,000 times. Maybe it's the flip opposite. You tell those guys, you don't have a game tonight. Go out to dinner. Go, because that's a baseball thing of just going out and partying. I'm not saying that. Do something to get away. Do something to just get that mental reset, whatever it might be. That's a tough job on JB to try to figure it out, but you ain't going anywhere without Garland and Strus. You got to have him.
All right, well, Nuggets guard Jamal Murray avoids the suspension after getting caught throwing a heating pad in the direction of official during Denver's blowout loss in Game 2. The fine is a hefty $100,000 for one Jamal Murray.
I think that's fair. When you got Draymond Green telling people that they're soft for asking for a suspension, I actually believe Draymond Green. If anybody would know what it means and what it takes to be suspended by the NBA, it'd be him. Seriously, after his career's over, he should totally be the guy that handles suspensions. I think he'd do a great job. Seriously, I think he would. Because on one side of it, I think he would be fair of not handing down unjust suspensions. But on the other side of it, he had to deal with the NBA up his ass his whole career. So he's going to be fair of, no, you actually, if I had to deal with this and getting suspended for it, you're going to get suspended for it. I actually think it's a perfect job for Draymond Green, handing out suspensions. I agree with him. Not suspension worthy. Fine. Don't do it again. Move forward. The NBA needed to make a statement here. It's kind of a big story. So they need to do something to remind the rest of the league, don't do that. please don't do that.
All right, but lastly here for the morning update, Timberwolves center Rudy Gobert gets some more hardware to his collection. He wins the NBA Defensive Player of the Year. This is now the 4th time that Rudy Gobert has won the award, and he joins 2 Hall of Fame centers, Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace, as the only 4-time winners of Defensive Player of the Year.
I got to tell you, Ben Wallace, I always sleep on him as the defense. And I know the version that we got here in Cleveland wasn't the best, but his, so good. The fact that Wembanyama was a finalist is pretty impressive on that. And Jared Allen got a 3rd-place vote. He did get a 3rd-place vote. So we got some take note. Nothing for Evan Mobley. I mean, certainly an important award. I think it's, at this point, it's unseating Gobert. Like, he is going to be the default. Now, I don't know what odds I could get on this on Tipico. Victor Wembanyama will win a Defensive Player of the Year award. That's not an outlandish statement. But he's going to win one. And could there be a world that he wins DPOY and MVP in a year? Wouldn't that be something?
Would they ever do that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Hang on. NBA player to win MVP and DPOY. It's like they were listening to me. Oh, yeah. Michael Jordan is one of 5 players to have won. Hang on, wait.
Are you sure they won them in the same year?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for here. Okay. Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Kevin Garnett, and Giannis Antetokounmpo are the only players to have won the MVP award and also won Defensive Player of the Year. But did they do it in the same year is the question. Well, yeah, when did Giannis win his? Oh, he won it before that. Giannis, DP, Defensive Player of the Year. Sorry. Yeah. He won it in 1920. Yeah, and won the MVP. Oh, no. Duh, dumbass. I'm looking at Defensive Player of the Year. Wait, when did he win his MVP?
Giannis?
Yeah, he won 2. He went back-to-back, right?
1819? Or 1920?
Yeah, he won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, same year, 19.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there it is. So
Okay.
I think Wembanyama
Okay.
will do that. All right, we're going to be joined by Spencer Davies coming up. He's going to join us to try to just dissect exactly what happened with that game tonight, but also the hope, the fear maybe of what the rest of this series is going to be. It's game 1. You got to set it aside the best that you can. I don't think necessarily shocked that the Cavs got smoked in game 1 against Boston, but is there something tangible that we can take out of this? Is there something from that game last night that gives the Cavs a little bit of ammo? I've been trying to ride the positivity train a little this morning to say the issues with the Cavs lie within themselves. The issues are themselves. They're shooting. And I think if they just were able to shoot it a little bit better, if they were able to hit some threes at some clutch times, then you would be in this series. You'd be in this game at least tomorrow night. Can they do that? Is this something that can easily turn around? And then obviously we'll get Spencer's thoughts. I'm operating completely at Jared Allen's not playing in this series. Is there any hope that he will? I mean, again, it's all unknown. He could wake up tomorrow and those ribs feel better. I guess I'm just looking at it. You're probably not going to have him. But if you could get him back, what flip that could mean to this series. You saw, okay, Luke Cornett. Dude, I tell you, man, I think if Jared Allen played last night, we might be in that game. Seriously. I think we might be in that game if Jared Allen played. He doesn't solve your shooting problems, but a few more offensive reboards, you got to shut down Luke Cornett. Dude, there were some times that Horford got switched, and you had Horford on Karis LeVert. That's not a matchup I think is going to go well for the Cavs. There's a lot I want to get into, Spencer, about that. I saw some fluky lineups, and I appreciate JB. If you're going to go down swinging. Try something. But some of those lineups, like the one that was Thompson, Mitchell, Merrill, LeVert, and was it Marcus Morris, I think?
It's something weird.
Something weird. And they talked about it on the broadcast. Reggie Miller said, okay, they're trying to spread out the Celtics, and they're trying to play that kind of game. Well, the issue is you don't have a lot of shooters out there. Usually if you want to spread out the floor, you're trying to also spread it out for you on offense to shoot. And it's also apparent, rightly so, the Celtics don't give a damn about anybody shooting the ball outside of Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
They leave these guys wide open, which is even more frustrating when they're not hitting these shots. Again, it's just like if they could just somehow find it. If I could just somehow snap my fingers and get Max Strus and Darius Garland hit a couple. And the other issue is, too, I see them hit a couple, and I go, maybe this will unlock these guys. Maybe this is something that they need to wake up and start hitting some shots. They splash one, but then they're just gone again. And is it the pressure of the game where they feel like, okay, I got to make this? I'm asking NBA guys that are really three-point shooters to make shots. I don't think it's that outlandish to do. We welcome in Spencer Davies joining us, Hoop Industry, Cavs Insider as well. Follow the podcast there, Cavs Insider _FN, Spencer at Spin Davies. It is a loaded question to start, Spencer. I got to talk Strus with you. I got to talk Garland, these lineups, Jared Allen. But I open it this way with you, man. What was your biggest takeaway from that Cavs-Celtics game last night?
The Celtics offense is incredibly potent, and the Cavs are going to have to do a lot to keep up with them. That's pretty much what I looked at it, the way I looked at it when I previewed the series. And it's just going to be really tough to match that kind of three-point output if your guys that you brought in aren't making shots. That's just pretty much the way I look at it. And it's tough. It's tough because I think that the Cavs, despite the score yesterday, I don't think they played that bad. And it just was one of those things where the Celtics just outdid them, outplayed them. They were outgunned. And I mean, Cavs didn't even turn it over. They turned it over less than Boston did. And still it just didn't really have that kind of firepower to match with them. And Donovan left it all on the floor. Isaac Okoro gave him some great minutes early and some big shot making. I don't even think that Darius particularly played that bad. But you're going to need more from Evan Mobley. You're going to need more from Max Strus. And, of course, Karis LeVert, who has had success against the Celtics in the past as well.
Spencer, I boil it down to shooting. Like I was saying earlier, if I could just take Max Strus and Garland and just, like, shake them and just say, wake up. What I think frustrates me the most, and I don't think I'm in a horrible place this morning, Spencer. Like, listen, Cavs lost by 25. That's not a big shock. To your point, there were times that they played well, and I was a little excited. But I just look at it and I say, I know Garland and Strus aren't this bad. I know they're not. And I'm sure that JB has tried everything over the past month. It's not like these guys just showed up this week and have been shooting poorly. It's been consistent. But I think that's the frustrating thing for me is I boil it down to if just those two guys specifically could shoot it a little bit better, I think we might have something for Boston.
Yeah, no, I think you bring up a good point too. Like Max Strus is a proven NBA shooter who's been to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Even though he hasn't really played since he got played out of the rotation, played himself out of the rotation. George Niang, he's not a 10% three-point shooter. These aren't guys that did this stuff, and that's why Kobe Altman brought them in. Kobe Altman brought them in because they were proven veterans who had playoff experience and had, veteran leadership. Darius Garland earned his contract because he was an all-star and was playing in a ridiculously good level, had a great pick-and-roll partner with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, was touching the paint, kicking out to guys, and really taking care of the basketball a lot better than we'd seen when he was a younger player. Since he came back from the injury, from the jaw injury, he's just not been himself as far as the confidence to even shoot floaters and shoot pull-ups and the way that we know that he can. So those are really good points you make there, Matt, because these guys just didn't forget how to play basketball. They're just not shooting well right now. And the other thing I think particularly with game one, and it was reflective in the spread, if you saw what the spread was before the game was, the Cavs just played a game 7 against a grueling Magic team that just absolutely, they pushed them to their limits physically. And Boston's not that same type of team. But Boston did have a few more days rest after taking care of Miami in 5. So, and you got your first game at home in the second round. They've been beating opponents. I think all of their games that they've won have been by at least 14 or 15 points. And the majority of them have been by more than 20. So this was just kind of a bad situation for the Cavs to walk into with only a day in between rest-wise too. So, and I know that sounds like an excuse, and the offense needs to be better, but that's just the fact of the matter. And the Boston Celtics are a title favorite for a reason, guys.
Spencer Davies joining us. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram, Spin Davies, Hoop Industry, Cavs Insider, part of Fan Nation there, covering the Cavs. Spencer, the lineups I thought were interesting. We were talking about it before you came on. They tried that, like, Mitchell, Merrill, I think, was it Morris Thompson type thing? They tried to spread it out a little bit. Is there something JB can do? Is there some lineup that you're looking at that you really like, especially with now Porzingis not being in there? Is there something from a rotation standpoint do you think the Cavs might be able to do?
Well, I did like that he tried to go small. I think that if you're going to have guys in there, I particularly like the Donovan Mitchell, Sam Merrill, Max Strus combination. There was one set where they kind of weaved to each wing, and it allowed Donovan to kind of drive to the rim, turn the corner a little bit because they had to be so focused on Sam, especially on the right side. I do like when he goes 4 guards and 1 big, Evan Mobley being in there. I also like when Tristan Thompson's in there with Darius Garland because he gets a little bit better screen setting. And you could do the same obviously for Donovan Mitchell as well. Because it just helps to create a little bit more separation. Evan Mobley's more of a slip guy. He does set screens and he does roll well, but as we saw yesterday, he's just not finishing at the point of attack. He's literally leaving these shots on the cylinder. They're point blank shots. They're good looks, and that's something that he's going to have to definitely come to terms with and be better at. Period. And finishing jump hooks and obviously just finishing. And I think he's playing with confidence. I just think he's leaving a lot of these shots short.
Well, I got to tell you,
it's really weird.
And it's weird because, I look at Mobley, and I want to say, again, of all the litany of issues that the Cavs have, Mobley, that game, I'm like, okay, 17 and 13, that's kind of par for the course. If you get that, it's kind of some more of the other guys that I need to step up a little bit. You mentioned the screens, and I thought that was such a great point. Because one of the focus that I'm seeing, not just in this series, but in the Orlando series and across the NBA, bro, they are all over this screen setting right now. And these refs love calling these offensive fouls for setting these screens. So you're so right on about you better put somebody in there that's going to set good screens. Because if not, they're going to call that foul and you're going to get your guys into foul trouble. I don't know. That was something that just rocketed in my head. Because I'm like, man, they're calling a ton of offensive fouls on these screens in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you saw that at the end of the Indiana New York game too, and that was a huge difference.
Right.
But going back to the Cavs, I think Marcus Morris set some really good screens as well when he was in there. But I don't know how many minutes you can get out of Marcus Morris and Tristan Thompson, just because one of their age factor, and two, you want your best players on the floor. So those guys just need to be out there to spell you a little bit. And we know Tristan Thompson's has history with Al Horford, so he should probably be out there for at least 8 to 10 minutes. Marcus Morris, probably ideally you're going to want about 14 to 16 minutes from him. But how do you kind of manage that when you want to keep guys like Max Strus out there? Isaac Okoro, again, like I said, I think he had one of the better games of the Cavaliers in game 1.
I'm glad you said that, Spencer, because I was going to ask you about Okoro too. Again, it's a little like Mobley for me, where I'm like, that was an Isaac Okoro game. He kind of did what it's almost like pass fail for some of these guys. Like Donovan did what he was supposed to do, pass. I think Mobley did. Okoro's another one. I think that was just a good Isaac Okoro game. He showed up to me.
Yeah, is the way that he kind of opened up the offense in the first quarter, and it wasn't just the 3-point shooting. It was the way he was kind of cutting off the ball, and there were some really good actions where he was able to kind of do some V cuts and some kind of different ways to free himself up to get to the rack. He drew a foul too. He had a really tough finish in traffic, and that really got him engaged in the game. And I thought defensively he did a good job too. I think Max Strus defensively did a good job yesterday as well against Jason Tatum. There were a couple calls on Strus against Tatum that were a little bit of head scratchers, especially seeing how much leniency the refs gave the Cavs and Orlando in the first round. Strus was all up on Tatum, and I don't think Tatum had a particularly good game. I don't think his shot selection was great. He did make some good playmaking decisions, but you got to give Boston credit. Derek White went scorched earth again. He did it against Miami the whole first round. And then Jaylen Brown, the same thing. He's been terrific in the postseason. And yesterday he was just pretty much untouchable, whether he was putting it on the floor or shooting over the top.
That's the scary thing too, Spencer, that it was kind of like Tatum just going, I'll just kind of, hang out. Again, a solid game for him, but I'm going to let these guys take over. I'm glad you brought it up. Wanted to go there. What, if anything, out of Boston did you look at for maybe this series or overall, as I'm sure they have obviously championship aspirations now? When you look at Boston, even without Porzingis now, is there something out of that game that you go, yep, that's either a key for the Cavs or, man, Boston's doing this really well? Just kind of your thoughts now on the Celtics side of things.
Well, I think that if you're getting what you get out of Derek White and Drew Holiday, I thought Drew Holiday also had he had a stretch where he scored like 7 straight, and it's just like, okay, who can't shoot the ball, who can't make a shot here on Boston, because you got guys off the bench like Peyton Pritchard, who's had a terrific season.
He annoys me to no end for some reason, Spencer. And he annoys me because he's a good player. He comes off the bench and he just smokes it. And I'm like, damn it. He
was annoying
fast.
for people in college too, in Oregon. Trust me.
Oh, man. It's like he's the perfect guy. He's the perfect backup guard, point guard there. I don't know why, dude. I think he is so fast with the basketball too. He just seems like he's a blur. Then he's just splashing threes. Peyton Pitt, I hope he's watching this. You annoy me, man. You annoy me, Peyton Pritchard. He's so annoying as a player.
And the Cavs fans haven't even really gotten a taste of Sam Hauser, who can knock down 5 or 6 threes in the blink of an eye too. So these are guys that can all score, they can all shoot, and the majority of them can create for themselves.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really tough task for the Cavs to keep up. And I hate being the bearer of bad news in that realm, but like Donovan Mitchell is the one that's creating most of the offense for the Cavs, whether it's going for himself, drawing to and kicking out, trying to get to the foul line. It's a lot of high screen actions that he just kind of has to navigate, right? Darius Garland did the same thing. And again, Darius took care of the ball yesterday. It was fine. He just wasn't making the pull-up mid-range shots. What I did notice yesterday was Boston was in a drop. So Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland should be able to take care of those pull-ups, right? As long as they read the defense and make the right decisions. I think the same thing for Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert loves those mid-range shots. I noticed a lot yesterday when he drove. Al Horford was there waiting, or Luke Cornett was there waiting with their hands up. I think if Karis says, okay, they're going to be a little bit restrictive in the paint, maybe I'll go to my patented 10 to 12 footer that I always like in my career. And he's had good success against the Celtics too, as I mentioned earlier. So the bench is going to need more. Something that we didn't mention too, Sam Merrill, he got off 4 or 5 threes. I think one of them maybe had more than 2 feet of space, because he was just absolutely stonewalled yesterday, as far as he was trying to come off screens and these guys' hands were right in his face, or they were directly where the ball was.
Yeah.
I don't think he couldn't get a clean look all night. And that doesn't help for his minutes, especially if he's getting beat up on the defensive end as well. So it's funny. All of these players that Cleveland's clamoring for JB Bickerstaff to go to, they didn't play all of that great yesterday. So who's the next guy on the bench you're going to look to?
Dante Jones, I guess, going to have to come in and do something. I mean, that's kind of like how I started with it, about the frustration is like, the talent is like there. It's not like we're void of this. And if I looked at the roster, and if I just took out the injury side, which I do want to ask you about some injury updates in a second, but like if I took all that out, and if I went into the multiverse for a second, and I walked through a wormhole, and I'm staring at this Cavs team, I know they're better than this. And I know that there is a world that they could maybe beat them in 7, talking about Boston, but at least take it to them a little bit. So it's like just shaking to wake them up. I know Strus and Garland aren't that bad. I know Sam Merrill can hit 3. I know Karis LeVert's not that bad. And I think that's what makes it even more frustrating. So, Spencer, as I try to find answers, is it just that they're fading, that they're tired, that they are just that beat up? Are they not running the right sets? I mean, I'm sure JB's trying to find out the exact answer to that question, but I just know there's a world that this Cavs team, they're not that bad. I don't feel like they are.
Yeah, it could be just a mixture of both, Matt. I also, if you want to unlock a little bit more creativity in the offense, again, I think having Strus and Merrill in there at the same time might be something to look at. I think using Evan Mobley as a hub would be something to look at too, and we haven't seen too much of that. All we talked about in training camp was how Max Strus and Evan Mobley were going to have this chemistry like Bam Adebayo and he did in Miami. We haven't seen much of Evan Mobley using dribble handoffs in the playoffs. We haven't used, but that also kind of goes back to Jared Allen being missed, because, he's usually able to kind of sit out there in the corner or in the dunker spot, but now they have him on the block trying to be somebody he's not. He's so much more comfortable in face-up situations and then those handoffs and those ghost screens than he is just as a typical 5, right? But good for him in this series. Boston's got a guy that's stretching out right now. Obviously, Porzingis isn't in, but Al Horford, he stretches out to the 3-point line and isn't always in the paint because they need room for their guys to attack as well. So the matchup works out well for Evan in this series, as opposed to last series where he had to deal with Wendell Carter Jr. So stylistically, that's to his advantage. But creatively, the Cavs just have to be a little bit more. we said this before last postseason. They have to be less predictable. I don't think they're as predictable. I think there is more space on the floor. I think Max Strus is giving you that. I think Isaac Okoro being a better shooter is giving you that, but it's still just not quite good enough yet.
Just got to hit the shots. Like this thing, I think there are some open shots to be had. They're just not making them. Injury front, I mean, obviously, Spencer, I'm preparing that we're not going to see Jared Allen at all in this series. I'd be pleasantly surprised if not. I've heard it's really painful with the rib. So update on that. Do you think he would have that big of an impact on this series? Because, again, I watched the game, and it's tough for me not to say, like, man, if we just had him. And then the final thing on the injury front, I feel like Mitchell's knee's not getting any worse, right? Like, it seems like he's doing all right managing that. Allen and Mitchell injury front, Spencer, I mean, it just kind of is what it is, right?
It is what it is. It's just bad timing. I think from a defensive standpoint, Jared Allen would give you somebody else to switch on to Tatum, which may allow Evan Mobley to be on a guy like Jaylen Brown or even on a guy like Derek White if necessary. So that just gives you another option, switchability. They do have less size than Orlando, though, so it's not that entirely big of a problem. I thought the Cavs played okay defense yesterday. It was just one of those barrages that you can't avoid. On the offensive end, like I was saying earlier, if Jared Allen was in there, then I think Donovan Mitchell would have a more reliable pick and roll partner, just knowing his accuracy on jump hooks, knowing his accuracy on those like 6 to 8 foot shots, those little push shots, or whether it's just a small mid-ranger. I think Jared Allen's been really good in that area this year. I think he's been better. Obviously, they got out-rebounded yesterday, so that would have obviously helped as well. And Evan Mobley playing the 4, I don't think we've seen him take a 3 since Jared Allen's been out.
Yeah, that's a good
so
point.
He hasn't been spreading the floor like he was earlier, and he's not really been in the dunker spot as much. So that's another thing I think would change if Jarrett was in there. And as far as Donovan goes, I think it's a pain management thing. I think you can see that he's not 100%, but he's like, all right, this is probably the best it's going to get. Got to go out and do what I got to do. And I don't think it's getting better or worse. I just think that it's a fatigue thing at this point.
Yeah.
You could see how exhausted he was. I was saying yesterday on our Cavs Insider podcast that, man, if this usage doesn't change, if somebody doesn't step up and start helping him out, and it sounds cliche that Donovan needs help, but he needs help, that he's going to be gassed by halftime of game 2. And I don't know how much more he has left in the tank to continue doing what he's doing.
Yeah, 24 hours off ain't going to solve much, right? Like, he rests. I know hopefully he's sleeping in, but it's all just compiling on. Spencer, really appreciate the insight as always. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram, Spin Davies. Hoop Industry, you mentioned the Cavs Insider podcast. Check them out. Fan Nation, I saw you guys on right after the game yesterday as well last night. So I appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you next week. Have a great weekend, and I hope that we get something here. I hope we get something to talk about. Just get a win. Final thing, Spencer, Cavs will get a win, right? They're not going to get swept out.
I think it's a gentleman's sweep. Okay, I really do. So
fair enough. Spencer, really appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you.
Sure thing, Matt.
There you go. Spencer Davies, the best. Spin Davies there on Twitter and IG. Yeah, it's just kind of compiles, does it not? It's just kind of all this stuff that it's one thing here, Allen making the difference. Can you get more for Donovan? But as Spencer wrapped up there, that's just it. I don't care who. Spencer doesn't care. Ryan doesn't care. Somebody's got to step up with Donovan Mitchell. And you might say it's too late anyway, but just to give you some peace of mind about where this team is at and what's going on, something's got to change. Tomorrow night might be it. I will tell you that I love some of that stuff from Spencer about some of those options with the rotation. And what he was talking about with the Cavs not being as predictable. And you got to put your eggs in the basket of guys that you might not. It'd be nice if you had a Derek White. It'd be nice if you had Jaylen Brown go, hey, yeah, these guys are going to go. But the twist now, Ryan, might have to be some of these lineup changes, and I just found some of that intriguing with Spencer on what JB might be able to. I'm down for a little Merrill Strus action out there. Sure, why not? What do you got to lose?
The problem with that is, and when you're talking about predictability, is it's fine if the Cavs are making their threes, but the fact is they're not at an abysmal clip, in fact. Yeah. And nobody else not named Donovan Mitchell is getting to the damn rack. Like, Darius Garland won't attack the rim, whatever. He gets hurt. Like, I understand. I'd be frightened, too, if I was getting whacked in the face all the time. Karis LeVert can. He attacks the rim here and there, but he's very inconsistent at it. And there's nobody else in that rotation without Allen without Dean Wade even that I trust to create a damn shot.
Yeah.
It's very hard when you don't have anybody to play through, especially when Donovan's on the bench.
Well, and especially how that shifts Donovan's mindset even when he gets back in there. And he's like, I
and
don't
think
trust
about all
you
the
guy.
energy
Yeah.
he has to exert on offense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to ask for him to have some in the tank on defense.
It is. All right, let's do this. Catch our final break of the morning. When we come back, we will get into a little bit of timeout. Busy day on that. We will get to our bracket of the week. I forgot to ask Spencer what his favorite Cedar Point ride was. I'm sure it's in the group. I'm sure we got a good collection.
Yeah.
I usually appreciate when people aren't like, hey, you left this out. We got a good collection. Runaway on one and a semi-upset. But in true, we knew this was a real number one seed, even though Ryan doesn't like it. But we'll get to that coming up with our bracket. We'll remind you of our boost tonight with Tipico. And we'll get our plays for this evening. One NBA game on the slate. All coming up Fontana show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. All right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, we head on back a little bit on the 8th of May. We'll tell you exactly what happened this day in history. Got some NFL, got some... It's so weird. You know, you just mentioned JV and Clowney earlier. I got Jadavian Clowney in timeout that we'll get to. Birthdays, I got one movie for you that we'll get to. Then we do have to change our Manzardo boost. Apparently, he's not going to be along today. So we'll announce that. We'll tell everybody about the Typico coming up as well. And we'll get to our bracket. Let's start, though. We go back just 1 year ago today. The NFL announced their scheduling changes. So there were 4 big moves that they announced 1 year ago today when it came to the schedule. Number one, every game would be a free agent that a network could bid on to get. So it's not of the old school where CBS always had the AFC and NFC was always on Fox. Every game, any game could be on any network. I think that kind of works. You know, I'm sure the NFL made more money off of it, and I'm sure the networks liked it better. I would just be defaulted of years of watching, like the Browns and Bengals are playing. Oh, it's on CBS. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's over here. I just think it's so interesting that NBC never gets into the fray for the regular season games. Like, they always just have the prime time. But, how it works out from that standpoint, all the games are on free agents. Then number 2, they announced that they would play on Black Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving. It is inevitable, and we are staring down the barrel that the NFL will be playing 5 nights a week. You're going to have Thursday. You will eventually get to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I think eventually they want to get to Friday. Wow. Like, all the time. If they could play on Tuesday, I'm sure they would. Like, they want to play every single night and spread it out. So I think that's inevitable. They also announced 1 year ago that teams can play on Thursday Night Football twice, and that also every team is not guaranteed a prime time. So you remember when the ass teams would get one Thursday night game? I thought that was a great change. Now, why did they change that, Ryan? Because Amazon cut a check for $10 billion for Thursday Night Football, and they said, we are sick of seeing the Carolina Panthers.
And they were still horrible games this year on Amazon.
Yeah, they were. Amazon, they got to get Al Michaels out of that.
Thank God they have Kirk. He carries.
Kirk is great. I like Kaylee Hartung, too. Al has lost his fastball. I get it. That's fine. Get somebody else in there. I don't mean to be some jerk. I don't want to see Noah Eagle get that job. Like, I like Noah Eagle to a point. I think Ian Eagle is great. Ian Eagle is one of my favorite play-by-play guys of all time. Noah Eagle doesn't do it for me. He called that playoff game. I've watched games with him. It sounds like does he not have that job already?
Who was calling the game yesterday for the Cavs that people were shitting on? Spiro? Was it him?
No, I thought it was, was Spiro on the call? Oh, yeah, because Ian Eagle had the late game, I think. Yeah, and I even said Reggie Miller. I think he had the late game. Thursday Night Football broadcasters. And by the way, too, speaking of Thursday Night Football, I love their crew. The Tony Gonzalez and Fitzpatrick and Richard Sherman. Whitworth. I love that crew. That is really good. Carissa Thompson does that. They're great. It still is Al Michaels.
You're a hater.
I'm not trying to hate.
What did Al do to you?
Nothing. He's a legend. The old saying is you need to announce your time to go before somebody else tells you it's your time to go. I think it's Al Michaels' time to go. And you know me, I don't like Gus Johnson either. I don't think he's good. Spiro is fine. My favorite, nobody touches Nance. Harlan. I love Kevin Harlan. I like Ian Eagle. I'm like so locked in on football. Like, Joe Buck is fine. Joe Buck and Aikman together are better than like just Joe Buck individually. Kevin Burkhardt doesn't do it for me either.
God, I hate Tony Romo.
They need to get Witten to go over, or not Witten, Greg Olsen, because he's losing a job to Tom Brady. I don't think Brady's going to be very good. The thing is, you're so mismatched on that where everybody's going to, and I'm trying to crap on Kevin Burkhardt, but I'm just saying, like, that is something that you need, like, you need Joe Buck to be sitting there next to Tom Brady. You need somebody big for that role. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what is going to come in Thursday Night Football, but they made all their scheduling announcements 1 year ago today. They all kind of work out. This is just for me, though, Ryan. That 1 year ago today, Sum 41 announced that they'd be disbanding. Do you know any songs from Sum 41? In Too Deep? Fat Lip.
Nope.
You've heard the song Fat Lip before.
I've had a Fat Lip before, but I've never heard of Fat Lip.
I'm just going to play a snippet. Don't get us in trouble here. You've heard this song.
I don't recall. No, I don't.
Storming through the party like my name is El Nino.
No.
Nothing?
No.
God, it's young. Really?
Mm-mm.
Wow. Well, all right. Never mind. We move on. This day, 2020, the Cavs finally returned to their practice facility. So remember, NBA got paused. They were out of the facility for 3 months. And then they got back and they finished out in the bubble. Give the NBA credit. I mean, the NFL was different because they were like, we don't give a damn. We're going to go on. The NBA had to navigate it a little bit differently, although they handled it pretty well. Speaking of the NBA, this day 2016, remember where we were. Cavs sweep the Hawks right out of the second round, 199 win. And, of course, that would be the year. Was that not the year that we didn't lose a game? Didn't we sweep? Am I missing that? Hang on.
Probably. I mean, who'd be playing this spot in the conference finals? Toronto?
I believe so. Cavs 2016 playoffs. Yes, I know how it ended, which was great. Cavs started, swept the Pistons, swept the Hawks 4-2 over the Toronto Raptors. You're right. But we swept the opening rounds there. Let's see if I can get you a little game action here. Game 4, we win 100-99. Your leading scorer, of course, was LeBron. 27, 21. Kevin Love at 27. LeBron and Kyrie each had 21. Iman Shumpert had 10 off the bench there for the Cavs as they sweep it on out. Give you $1,000 named the leading scorer for the Hawks in that game, who had 19.
For the Hawks?
Yeah.
Lou Williams?
No, good guess.
Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap is correct. Would you dare guess the second leading scorer?
Jeff Teague?
Good guess. No, he only had 5. I'll give you a hint. Weird name. Really weird name.
Thabo Sefolosha?
Yeah! Ryan!
I'm him, bro.
Yes!
I'm him.
Anybody else that you want to name off that team in the starting lineup?
Oh, God. Who else was on that team?
Thabo Sefolosha. Hell yeah. Good pull, buddy.
Wasn't DeMar?
No. He won there yet.
Oh, wait. No, yeah.
That's actually a guy we're playing in a series right now.
Really?
Yeah. Al Horford was there.
Oh,
Al
right.
Horford had 15. Kent Bazemore had 11. 20. Actually, I lied. Paul Millsap was not the leading scorer. He only had 19. This guy had 21 off the bench.
Wow. Or who?
Who? Do you want to guess?
Oh. On the Hawks. Oh, God. Is it a guard?
It is a guard.
And it's not Jeff Teague?
It's not Jeff Teague. This guy was a really good player for the Hawks for a long time. He's bounced around a lot in the NBA, and he probably is most famously known for turning down a massive contract.
Really? Oh. I remember that story. I don't know who it was.
Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder, that's it.
$80 million or whatever for the Lakers. Then they came out like, no, that really wasn't true. Turned down that money. Kyle Korver was in that. Chris Humphries in that series as well. Kirk Heinrich didn't get on the floor for the Hawks. They close it out this day, 2016. We go back. 2014 NFL Draft. Jadeveon Clowney, Johnny Manziel, and Justin Gilbert, all this day, 2014. Man, what would have been? Remember, the draft was so late. But also, first rounders. Mike Evans, Eric Ebron, Taylor Lewan, Odell Beckham, Aaron Donald, Ryan Shazier, CJ Mosley, Zach Martin. All in that first round. You had some crap, and you had some Hall of Famers. Joel Bitonio, second-round pick. Derek Carr was a second-round pick. Devontae Adams, Carlos Hyde, Allen Robinson, Jarvis Landry, all in the second round this day, 2014. The draft started this day in 2014. But yeah, Jadeveon Clowney goes 1. We go Manziel and Gilbert. This day, 2010, Betty White became the oldest host in SNL history. I don't like SNL didn't really do it for me anymore. I don't know. I see the clips. The Beavis and Butthead thing was funny. When Aubrey Plaza hosted, and I think this was so long ago at this point, and she recreated Parks and Rec. She brought out Amy Poehler. That was pretty good, but I'm not really a big SNL person. This day, 2001, Randy Johnson struck out 20, but it doesn't count to tie the MLB record because the game went into extra innings, even though Johnson got all 20 of his in 9 innings.
And that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Like, of the MLB record for the most strikeouts in a game, Randy Johnson got 20 in 9 innings, but it's not recognized because the game went to extra innings.
It's dumb as hell.
Don't know what to tell you.
It makes no sense.
This day, 1970, the Beatles released Let It Be, which would be their final album together. You know me and the Beatles. You know where it's at. Do you have a favorite Beatles song? You even have one? Bang Bang Maxwell Silverhand? Octopus's Garden is a good one.
Yesterday, probably.
All right, there we go. This day, 1961, the New York Mets were officially named, of course, short for the Metropolitans. I think John Pemberton would love to see where his invention is today, because he was a United States pharmacist, and this day, 1886, he developed something that he billed as a cure-all tonic for people. It is now a conglomerate, billions and billions of dollars worth of an industry. Would you dare guess, Ryan, what he developed this day, 1886? He was a pharmacist that he developed this and billed it as a cure-all tonic for people. And it is now one of the biggest corporations in the world.
So I'm naming the corporation.
Oh, just what do you think he invented?
Aspirin?
Close.
Tylenol?
No.
Acetaminophen?
No. I know where you're going because you're thinking cure-all tonic.
Yeah.
Don't think that way.
Oh.
Not necessarily medicine. It was billed as a medicine, but it is developed into something else. They gave you a hint to say that it's a beverage.
No. Ginger ale?
Close.
Yeah. Ginger beer.
No. Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
He developed Coca-Cola.
That was supposed to be a cure-all tonic?
Well, it used to have cocaine in it and codeine and all this other stuff. Like that's how Coca-Cola got started. He built this as like, drink this. You're going to, of course, with all those drugs in it, you're going to feel better. And now it's Coca-Cola, one of the biggest corporations in the world. Right? Gatorade, all that other stuff that they bought up, Coca-Cola. This day, 1877, was the first ever Westminster Dog Show. See it like once a year. It's weird that they replay it on ESPN all the time. It's like random times, like, oh, the Westminster Dog Show's on, I guess. Very happy birthday. We start with the big one today. Kevin Stefanski, 42 years old today. Happy birthday, Coach. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the day.
Extension inbound.
Why not announce it on his birthday? What a gift that would be. What a gift that would be. So happy birthday to Kevin Stefanski. He shares a birthday with Mike D'Antoni, Bill Cowher, Ronnie Lott, Lawrence Vickers, Usama Young, Kemba Walker, Lane Johnson, David Attenborough, Don Rickles, Harry Truman, Stephen Amell, the actor, and Alex Van Halen.
Arrow, right?
Yeah, Arrow. That's all I know him from. I can't say much else, but
he's a big WWE guy.
Is he? Stephen Amell and Alex Van Halen. All right, one movie for you today. Came out this day, 2009. This was meant as a reboot of a series that has a long-standing television history, a long-standing film series. And this was meant as the reboot. This day, 2009. Trying to think of a good hint for you without giving it away. It's the adventures of a group of people. Hang on. I'm going to see if I can.
Goonies?
No. Where no man has gone before is the popular phrase made from this series.
Where no man has gone before. It's supposed to be the moon?
Not the moon, but you're in the right area thinking about it.
Toy Story?
No.
Wait, this is a movie?
It's a rebooted movie.
Is it animated?
No. Chris Pine stars as
Chris Pine.
Captain James.
Star Trek.
Kirk. Star Trek is correct.
Yeah.
I watched this one. Now, I will say, I know people are either Star Wars or Star Trek, and I appreciate you. One of the mottos of the show, find your nerdism in life and nerd out about it. So if you're in either one, great. I would probably lean more Star Wars, but I liked this Star Trek movie. For somebody that knew nothing, it was good introductory to me. I thought Chris Pine was great as James Kirk. You had, of course, you had Zachary Quinto, who played Spock. Carl Urban, who's just the best, as Dr. McCoy. Because a lot of that, you hear about, for God's sakes, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a whatever. I now understand that reference, watching that Star Trek movie. Zoe Saldana was in that. So it tied up a lot of loose end pop culture references for me watching Star Trek. I would say I'm more Star Wars. I'm really neither. And I know they've remade it a few times, and people are pissed because they look for, God, who's the bad guy in Star Trek?
I couldn't even tell you. My dad was huge into it, but I obviously was too young.
Star Trek villain. The Borg, Nero. No, he was in that. Khan! That's it. Khan. He was the guy that everybody went after. And then, like, Kirk goes away, and then you brought in Jean-Luc Picard. That was Patrick Stewart in the movie, all that. So, yes, the rebooted Star Trek this day, 2009. What are we going to do? All right, here's where it's at. Manzardo's not going to be in the lineup today, supposedly, reportedly.
Yeah, all right.
So if he's not in the lineup, if you put your money... Okay, you sent one. Yeah. What did you send? Do you want to say it or no? You just want to wait? Oh, you got it.
Well, I don't have it, but I'm going to clip it.
Okay, go.
I've never announced a boost before. This is weird.
There's no pressure, Ryan. Announce the boost here.
All right, we're going. Hopefully, we get up shortly here with Typical. We're going over 5.5 strikeouts for Tanner Bybee. That should be money. And we're going 1+ hit for Jose Ramirez, who is back to being Jose. And 1+ hit for Andres Jimenez, who's getting back at it, baby. Typico is going to boost that up.
We don't know what it'll be boost.
Let's get a Guardians win. I'm feeling good. I know you're feeling -1.5.
Oh, I took them. I already jumped on 1.5.
We lost yesterday. Erase it. Let's win today. Let's win another series.
Let's do it.
Go Guards. Go Typico.
For those that did bet the Manzardo, if he's not in the lineup, you get that voided. You'll get that returned into your account, so don't worry about that. Keep an eye out for it. If you have any problems, reach out to Typico. They'll take care of it for it, folks. They're the best. Use that code Fontana150. Deposit $150. Two protected $75 bets for new customers with Typico using that code Fontana150. Terms, conditions apply. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. But I like that boost very much.
Yeah.
I will jump on that. We'll get the Manzardo voided on out if he's not in the lineup tonight. As it goes. Day off, that's probably good. Give him a little time. We'll see how it goes with that. All right, Ryan, to our brackets of the week. Raptor pulls the upset. It's better than Top Thrill. You don't necessarily like Raptor, but you don't like Top Thrill.
I thought if there was going to be an upset, it was going to be Raptor.
Sure. Millennium is, of course, a force.
Yes, very much so. All right, Group 3 going tonight. Maverick, Gatekeeper, Ruguru, Power Tower. Group 4, Steel Vengeance, Magnum, Iron Dragon, and Corkscrew.
Okay, I'm probably going number 1 seeds here. I'm going to go Steel Vengeance and Maverick. I like Gatekeeper. It's fine. Wait a minute. Did we not put Val Raven in this?
No, it lost.
Oh, they lost. They lost. Okay, okay.
Yeah. I'm going Maverick and Steel Vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, Gatekeeper... Oh, it doesn't do it for me.
It's okay.
It doesn't do it for me. Corkscrew's fine. Little Legacy. I actually don't really like Power Tower. I don't really like Power Tower. The free falling, I don't know. Doesn't really do it for me. Iron Dragon's great.
It's just not very exciting.
Yeah. So vote on that. We'll put it up at Matt Fontana Show. Drops file there. We got to fly. Wednesday's bonus time. Bruce Drennan tonight.
Also, we have a guy coming on, Bruce, who claims that he has the plans to be able to put a dome on the stadium in downtown.
Oh, in downtown? Like not on the current spot?
Like on the current spot, I think.
Oh, well, all right. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Is it Mayor Justin Bibb? I don't know. But we'll have to tune in tonight. Bonus time with Drennan across all the channels right here on Big Play. Appreciate everybody joining us this morning. We'll be back 9 a.m. tomorrow. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.